Hello, and welcome to an exclusive interview presented by The Woodward. Today we have new editor-in-chief Vincent Goldschmidt and new manager editor Faith Gibbons. How you guys doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing good, Phil.
That's good to hear. Ready for some questions?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, so let's begin. I got a question for the both of you. So Maddie and Elizabeth stepped down of the positions last summer, and a new position opened up for both of you and everybody else in the department. And the only way to get it was by emailing our advisor, Sarah Hall. And in the email, you just say why you want it and your goals. So what were your goals and the reasons in that email?
I think the big one was I have been on the Woodward for a couple years now, and even within my role as being the sports editor for the last year or so, I've done above and beyond my position. I've done some marketing, some promotion, multimedia, photography. So I've gotten to learn more and more about each position. And I really just wanted to continue to grow the Woodward. I think we did a really good job last year with all of our articles. Obviously, you stepping in as multimedia was a big factor in why we grew. But I just wanted to continue to grow the Woodward from where we're at last year.
So I started the Woodward last year, and I kind of got bumped up to news editor my spring semester, which was my second semester. And so I don't have as much experience as Vinny, but I did work at a news station. Well, I interned at a news station over the summer, so I got a lot of experience from that, a lot of, like, not to say real world experience, but you know what I mean. So I do have some experience, and my goals, I guess, were to keep building the multimedia stuff, like what you're doing, with who's writing, the exclusive interviews, and then that kind of stuff, and to keep growing like our community section. Well, not specifically community, but we have like the group spotlight, and then for arts and entertainment we have who's writing, not who's writing, who's listening, who's watching, that kind of thing. So if we keep growing that.
All right. I have a question for both of you again. This time I'll start with Faith.
Okay.
When you got the email saying you got the position, how did you react? Were you surprised?
No,
Were you shocked?
This is funny. I was asleep at like, I think we got the email at like 9 o'clock. First she emailed
called,
me, and
right?
she was like, hey, do you have a second call? It was Thursday. I was so exhausted that I went to sleep at like 8:30. I was so tired. It'd been a long week. And then she's like, well, I would have loved to do this over the phone. But I like didn't check my email until the morning. She's like, I would have loved to do this over the phone, but I just wanted to tell you got the position. I was like, okay, this is cool. And then we went into the meeting the next morning, and then, well, it was the Zoom meeting, and they kind of announced it there to everyone else. But
She had sent me an email saying that, hey, do you have a minute to call? And I kind of assumed that's why she was reaching out, but thought I'd just call. I gave her a call, I shot her a text, whatever it was. And we talked, and I was definitely surprised to an extent. I kind of felt like I had put a good resume out there or given a good reason why I should be editor-in-chief. But it still definitely caught me by surprise, and I was just kind of overwhelmed with excitement because I feel like I'm going to do the best I can do for the Woodward, and I know Faith and I are going to really continue to grow the Woodward from where it's been at.
And Vinny, one of the big things coming into this year is the staff. Many people graduated or either stepped down, and you're looking for new people like writers and graphic designers. So what is your plan to get more people into the Woodward?
Well, so I definitely think we have a good freshman crew within the multimedia program. I believe we had about 11 people sign up. Yesterday we had a table at the student engagement block party, and we got, I believe, 8 or 9 people to sign up, which was good. So continuing to do that, I'm going to work along with Jess, who is our social media and public relations. She's part of that team. So I'm going to work with her to continue to try and grow the Woodward because, again, I think our staff is great, but we always have room to grow, especially seeing we saw all 3 of our graphic designs people step away. We saw Liz and Maddie step away, and Lindsay step away from our PR team. So I definitely think you never know what's going to happen throughout a semester or a year, so if we can continue to bring people in by any way possible, I think that'd be great for us.
And Faith, you are managing editor and news editor, correct?
that is correct.
So how is it like having those 2 positions?
Well, it's the second week,
I know
so
the second week, but
so not much has happened. I'm still working on. It's kind of new because I didn't have this position last fall, so I didn't have like new people to be like, hey, go and do this article or go and do this article, because last year it was just me and then the Adams twins writing most of the news articles. So now I have more people to pick from, and I'm excited about that. So I think that's kind of what's new about it. But I don't know. I guess that's it.
All right, so Vinny, let me get this straight. Right now, you're editor-in-chief. You're also the sports editor, host of He Knows Ball, 10 a.m. Mondays on YouTube. What else are you? You're sports director, you're a sports anchor, you're a sports commentator. Why do you do this to yourself, and how is it having all these positions?
Probably because I'm a little bit insane. No, I've said since the day I got here at Marywood and I've kind of started to experience everything, this isn't homework, this isn't a job, this is a hobby to me. Everything I'm doing within the comm department is, I found so much joy, and this is more or less a dream come true. Hopefully, at some point down the line, I'll be able to get paid for this, you know, in a job in this field. But while I'm doing this at school, I'm going to make the most of it. Yeah, I love doing what I do.
And Faith, this Monday is going to be the Writers Retreat at 7 p.m., correct?
Yes.
So what is your idea for this coming event?
So we kind of wanted some of the contributors to already have like an article that they could work on, and if they need any help, talk to the section editors, talk to Vinny and I. We're gonna have pizza, and it's free. That's always great. And that's kind of it. We're just gonna workshop some stuff. Any new ideas, any ideas the contributors have, just send them our way. We can talk about that. And then we have recruitment day on the 27th of September, and that's just going to be for anyone else who's kind of outside the department who is interested to come in, see how a meeting runs, kind of basically do what we're doing at the Writers Retreat, but on a different day.
Yeah. And Vinny, last year we got a new advisor in Sarah Hall. So how has it been working with her last year and now since you're editor-in-chief?
I mean, it's been good. From the editor-in-chief perspective, I haven't worked with her too much, just because we are still very early on in the semester. But with the few articles, she's been very, her and I have seen eye to eye with a lot of things. She's very much about getting articles out quickly, because there are a lot of things that we publish that have to be timely. I mean, I'm definitely upset that Dr. Watanas and PJS are no longer a part of the Woodward family, but they helped me become the writer I am today. And I know Sarah's going to continue to help me become a better writer and editor each and every day.
And Faith, we talked about people stepping away from the Woodward or graduating, and we talked about recruiting new members, but what about the returning staff? What are your opinions on them and how they're going to get involved this year?
Well, the returning staff's great. The articles they do put out are amazing, and then those who don't write but help with the multimedia stuff, I mean, they're the reason this kind of runs so smoothly. I want to see a little more, maybe intersectionality is not the right word, but I want like more people who are comfortable in sports to like kind of go out their like bubble and try an opinion piece or something in arts and entertainment. And I think by building those skills, by writing in different sections, it can kind of make you a better writer. And I mean, I've written a bunch of community pieces well, not a bunch, but I've written community pieces and I've written news, and I'd love to start kind of expanding my stuff into writing. So
Something you picked up last year was doing photos for like sports games and stuff. Are you doing it this year as well?
Yeah, I've done it twice so far this year. I've done a field hockey game and a women's soccer game.
I know that's not the easiest thing to do, but how have you improved from last year to now?
I mean, it's definitely a work in progress. I know some of the pictures, Julie, our photography editor, has said, and I quote, she is pulling her hair out because I am still learning how to fix some settings such as white balance on the camera and with editing the pictures. But definitely my ability to learn more about the camera, kind of anticipate certain shots. So if I need to lead a little bit more, if like pitchers throwing the ball, lead in front a little bit more to give them a little more space. There's still a lot of work I need to do to become a really good photographer, but I feel like I've definitely improved from where I was a year ago.
And Faith, I saw there's about 14 contributors this year on the Google Doc I saw.
yeah, I think so.
And have you met up with them, and do you have any plans for them?
I haven't. I mean, we had our meeting today, so like I met most of the contributors who came to the meeting. Logan is interested in news and opinion. I reached out to him before this interview, and then I reached out to Paige. I don't know her last name. I think it's Minich. I reached out to her also before this interview, but I'm not sure. She's kind of doing two things at once, so I don't want to give her too much. But I have reached out to some of the contributors.
I got a question for both of you again. What are some big stories that you're working on? I know it's just the beginning of the year, but do you have any big stories planned?
Oh, I can go first. Right now, I'm in the process of doing a group spotlight on the Pacer Pantry, which is the food drive on campus for people who deal with food insecurity. It's a big thing that's happening in the nation right now, and they just got, like, Marywood just got a grant to help build, well, not build, but they bought like a farm equipment, so it's more portable. It's easier for students to get food, fresh food, and it's involving different departments in the project. So I think that's good, and it's something to highlight. And the multicom students, including yourself, were nominated for an Emmy this summer for the basketball broadcast, and so I'm planning a little recap about that before you guys go out to Pittsburgh.
One of the things, at least for sports, I want to focus on is the student athlete spotlights. I feel like we've done a good job in the past, but it hasn't been as consistent as I'd like, partly on my end, maybe not getting the interviews or doing a good job of saving the footage. Some on people responding. So I definitely want to get that up and going because I know that's a series that a lot of the people enjoy being a part of. It's kind of fun at least. One of my favorite ones was interviewing Ian Kovac last year, and just being able to do that extra little bit of research to try and find these little tidbits about athletes and kind of see what their life is like away from the field or the court or whatever sport they play, because I know that that's something that if I was a college athlete, I would like people to kind of know that there's more to me than just being an athlete.
And now I want to steer away from the Marywood questions and talk about more about yourself so the audience can get to know you. I know we did this on Who's Writing, but I got some new questions this time and some very hard-hitting questions. So Vinny, what is something you're very passionate about that not many people know about you?
Passionate about? I mean, I don't really know. I mean, like, I do kind of have a secret side. Like, I would like to break into music a little bit. Do I know where to start? No, because I was supposed to take a guitar class and dropped it. But I do have a passion for music. I don't know how I would necessarily follow through with that, but I would like to break into music at some point.
That's good. And Faith, what are some hobbies you do outside of school?
I listen to music. I read.
Vinny, what is your go-to gas station snack?
Now, are we saying for a road trip or like a late night gas station?
Do you want to do both?
Sure. I feel like for a road trip, you kind of need something that's like quick and easy, but you got to fuel up. So for a road trip, I like some beef jerky. Beef jerky's always good. Jack's Links, sweet and hot. A cup of water with it, just to cool down the spice. For like a late night, I really like Dibs, like the chocolate covered ice cream things. Those are my favorite late night snack.
Faith, who has been the most influential person in your life?
So I'm kind of going to cheat with this one. I'm going to give two answers. My parents, so my mom and my dad too. They've always encouraged me to do what I do. Like, they know it doesn't make money, but they're like, if you're really into this, go ahead. My dad's kind of the reason I got into this, because he took me to a news broadcast once, and I was like, this is cool. This is what I want to do. And so, yeah, I guess they've impacted me the most.
Vinny, what's your favorite TV series of all time?
Of all time? That's a good one. Big sitcom guy. So I'd probably have to say, I really like Community. Community is one of my favorite shows.
Faith, do you have any hidden talents?
I played soccer for 8 years, so I still know how to juggle like a soccer ball between my feet. Like, I can do it on one foot, and then I can alternate. So this foot, this foot, this foot, this foot. Not many people know that, so I figured that's my hidden talent.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And now, the interview's over. It's been great. Anything else you want to say to the audience?
Check out the Woodward.
Thank you, Vinny and Faith, for coming on today's interview. It's been great as always. To see more content like this, subscribe to the YouTube page and go to thewoodward.org for all the articles. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.